let you know what's going on. Let's readjust my camera height and have some coffee and just say hi to you guys. And yeah, so just bear with me for a couple of minutes because I'm just I'm doing some experiment here. Okay, so there we go. So let me go into my YouTube and make sure I'm horizontal and not vertical and go into my YouTube channel live. So just bear with me for a minute. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go live, go live. I just want to make sure I got voice. I do got voice. Okay, okay, there we go. See, let's make a title for it. Edit, chat along. Keto Cafe, Saturday. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's my wife there yelling at the cat. Crazy cat. We got a nut for a cat, I tell you. Okay, I think we're here. So this, go back to my live stream and then I'm going to share it out to Facebook. So just bear with me, guys. Just a couple seconds. We're almost there. Good morning, Tamika. I'm going to start chatting in a minute. Just setting up the perimeters to Facebook. I wanted to make sure you guys and gals were getting the notifications because Anne Marie's been not getting my live notifications. And I'm going to share it over to my group in case anybody wants to pop in real quick. You're going to be going out shortly. Say something. Something. Okay. 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 We good. I think we're good. Hi, well, welcome in. And today is Saturday. It is November 18th. I'm happy to say that I'm down 12 pounds for the week. I'm really happy and I'm excited that I'm back on track. I feel feeling pretty good as far as the weight loss goes. So what we did to get myself back on track, we ended up doing and I don't need these on anymore. We ended up doing a beef and butter fast for a few days because we had ran out of eggs in the first couple of days. So if you're going to do an egg fast, I would suggest making sure you have plenty of eggs on hand, usually about 3 dozen eggs. Typically when I do an egg fast, I'll have 6 to 8 eggs a day, and usually have it with a tablespoon of butter each, and then I'll have an ounce of cheese each, and that's your egg and butter fast. Eggs, butter, and cheese actually, and you can have up to probably I've had as many as 8 eggs a day. It doesn't, it all depends on your macros and how you feel about eating all that many eggs, but yeah, it's going really good. He did a charity last night at St. Cecilia's Parish here in that city there, and she had over 200 people. She had a good crowd. We were show-handed, so I pretty much worked the whole floor last night, almost by myself. And our ticket counts came out okay last night, and they had one of the girls that work in the office, she came out, she sold pull tabs for us before we, so I could go out on the main floor and sell the pull tabs, which is good. And they went around talking to all the people last night, and one of the ladies there, she's relatively new playing bingo there. I think first night over there, she won $3,000. So I suspect that clan will be back. And, you know, so I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Still trying to figure out that game night thing. I can get into the game, but I don't know what goes on because it won't. I can type in the word, but it won't actually show up with the word like it does, and it's putting the letters over so you can see what you're typing in. So there must be something wrong with the settings, and I think I've only managed to do that once. Right now, I've been just going into that game board, and what I've been doing is seeing what's involved in it, and making sure I get the proper settings so we can play some more nights. Because I noticed they did Anne Marie and Tammy, they did a game night last night while I was at bingo. Who obviously I wasn't able to play. But I just I do want to go in and do that for you guys so we can do a separate game night. Like I was just thinking even Saturday night would be a good night like tonight. So today is Saturday. It's it's an overcast day. We live in the city of Leominster, but in Plymouth, the city for town where my wife is from, they're going to have their annual Thanksgiving Day parade today. That comes on in a half an hour. And we were there once to witness that. It's quite spectacular. They got a lot of floats. News agency, Channel 5, they're usually down there covering that. And then it runs through the main street of Plymouth, and it goes all the way down to the Plymouth Rock area. So if you ever been in that area, you know the area that I'm talking about. The year that we were there, we were also watching fireworks right from the Plymouth Rock area. They shoot them all off that way. And then they have one of the gazebo areas, they have a band playing patriotic music all night. It was really good. I liked it because we lived at the high rise. We were 5 minutes from the ocean. I could have still been living here had I wanted to, but this where I live in Leominster, this has always been my hometown, and I'm a hometown boy, and I missed it. So I decided to come back, even though my wife would have probably had preferred to stay in Plymouth. But the deal was over there, the food prices were like double than they were over here, even now, because you're paying for tourist prices. So I didn't think that was quite fair. The food price, you can get a loaf of bread, say, for $4 or $5, and you're paying $10 over there for the same loaf of bread. Yeah, right. So I don't think so. So, I was 5 minutes from the ocean. Right from outside my window, I could see the ocean every day and walked out that way. But, in the end, I just wanted to get out of there and just, it was a high rise. And then I got an opportunity to live in a house. We stayed there for a couple of years, and then we ended up, floating around at a few different places. Now we're over here. This is the longest place that Donna and I lived in for the last 10 years. We've been here for 5 years now, and we're going to stay here at least another year, and then we'll see what happens after that. But there's a lot of rules and regulations here where we're living, and it's just too much, and I'm just getting so fed up with it. But yeah, so she had a good crowd last night. Today we got what's going on today, guys? Fairs, 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 fairs. So they have the Christmas fairs this time of year. So if you in your town, if you have churches that have fairs, go down and support them. What I'm going to do is just take some chances on the raffle baskets, and they usually have scratch tickets on one of the baskets, and they get all kinds of good, fair foods, which I'm going to probably lay off of most of that, if not all of it, and just talk to some people that we know and go down that way. And I got one fair about not even 100 yards down the street to where I live. That'll be our last stop coming back, because I'm going to go down to the other one. And then on the way back, I'm going to drop Donna off in front of the parish. I'm going to park the car, and then I'm going to walk down to catch up to her, and then we'll go to that fair. And then we'll be done with fairs for the day, probably for the rest of the year. But in our next town over, they're going to have a dozen fairs over there and some other of those parishes. I can't make them all, but I go to the ones that's important to me. And I like to support the local community. And then on Monday, we have the Festival of Trees starting from the City Hall. So in the morning, be watching for that video, because I want to be posting a live video from the City Hall, and we're going to just, I can't film anybody in the City Hall because obviously a lot of people do not like to be filmed. So, and I hope YouTube doesn't strike me down, because there might be copyrighted music going in the background, because they do play Christmas music, obviously. But we'll just, go up down the trees and show you what goes on there. And then I'm going to do my own thing. I'll be down there for the whole, at least 2 or 3 days, taking photos and video. And I got to send out for some more star filters for the camera there. What it is it's a lens that goes over your existing lens of your camera. And it's got like horizontal and vertical lines going through. And when you take photographs, it gives you a really good special effect on your camera lens for your photographs. And one of mine broke there one year. It popped off my camera and broke. But speaking of cameras, this is the gift. The gift just keeps on giving. I told you about the $500 I got earlier this week. Well, I'm not going to keep this camera, but somebody last night at Bingo gave me this camera. This is a Minolta. It's an older camera, and the reason why I'm not going to keep it, because it takes 35 millimeter film. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Then they got to go have it developed, and how expensive that costs to have that film developed, and expensive to buy film if you can even get that type of film. And then you need a special battery for that. And she said it works. Yeah, I don't guarantee. I have no doubt it probably doesn't work. I tried putting it on this morning, but I think it needs a new battery. But it's not what I want. I use my mobile camera. When I'm filming you right now, I'm on my mobile camera, and for that, so I'm going to do a live cooking video later on this afternoon. I'm thinking about doing almond flour based flatbread pizza crust. I haven't made one of those in a while. This particular recipe will be coming to you from Max's Boot Camp and their marvelous group of him and his wife. They do a YouTube channel where it's a boot camp. They call it Max's Boot Camp, and they do like exercises and stuff like that. And they cook all kinds of healthy foods and some keto, some not so keto, and a lot of low carb food. So that's really good. And I'll be watching for that live video this afternoon. Maybe around thinking. When my wife wants the computer later, it'll probably be around 2 o'clock, maybe at 3 o'clock or something like that. And then we're going to be doing another live tomorrow afternoon around 11 in the morning. I'm going to be cooking chicken. I got some chicken drumsticks. I want to do two versions of chicken drumsticks. I want to do a chicken drumstick version with chicken bake, and then I'm going to do a chicken drumstick version with for keto, and we'll compare the two together. And for a side dish, I'm going to make some cauliflower mash. I'll show you how to do that, and it should be a good video for tomorrow. And I've got the Patriots tomorrow. They're really terrible this year. They've been terrible ever since Tom Brady retired from the team and left, and it's going to be a few years now before they're back to where they should be in at some point. But I think it's time for that coach to just go his own way and go up to the front office or just leave altogether and get some new people in there, because for the price of the tickets nowadays that people are paying, and they're not putting out a good quality product on the field. I'm glad I'm not a ticket season holder. I'd be very disappointed. But speaking about that, our local football team, our Leominster kids, the high school, every year in the town over, they have a rival with Fitchburg, and they're going to be playing the Fitchburg Leominster game at Gillette Stadium on Wednesday at 6:30. It should be on national TV. And those kids are pretty dominant over the years. That's the second longest over rivalry in the country. They've been doing those games for over 100 years. So be watching for that if you want to just catch it a little bit. And that noise you're hearing is my wife yelling at the cat. He's been meowing all morning because he can't get a bug. Cracks me up. I got a fruit fly in the house, okay, and the fly flies around and he looks at the bug and he cries because he can't get it. And this morning he got into my room. I don't let him in my room too often because I got a new comforter set and I don't want crap all over it. So I try to keep him out of my room the best I can. Yeah, so I got home last night, the guys, and Mary and I yesterday, we went over to the Old Common Cemetery up in Lancaster, which is one of the oldest cemeteries in the state. And we were exploring history yesterday. She was educating me on some the grave markers, and she had a list that she was checking them off to see if she could making sure the information matched up with the database. And one of the neighbors came out and was talking. He thought we were a couple of vandalizers with the cemetery, which we're very respectable when we go to these places. And some of the markers are really, really old. And when I do the update this week, I'll have some photographs above the timeline. But I really enjoy going to cemeteries with her. She teaches me a lot. One of the particular photographs had like a picture of an angel with the angel wings and some type of a design that the head made it look like the person that was buried in the marker is in the grave, and that all the bodies up in the stones in it facing east. And the reason for that, when the sun comes up from the east, it was a Christian belief that when the rapture happens, they rise up with that. And so the pyramids and all that, they had the same type of beliefs in the way they all aligned with the planet and the sun and everything. And it's amazing how everybody thought that way back then, and we're able to figure all this stuff out without the modern computer like we have today. So so it's pretty interesting. So I'll share that with you guys and some of that. And the next, well, actually a couple more weeks, the 3rd, it'll be the first Saturday in December. They're going to have the winter stroll outside. I'm going to be filming that for you guys. I'm going to do some B-roll video, and then when the parade comes through, I'll probably film that for you guys live so you can see that. And be watching for that, and I'll make the announcement about that before, so you guys will have that. And be watching for later this afternoon. Be watching for tomorrow. We're going to be doing a live video cooking tomorrow, And then Monday, we're going to be back on there live again Monday from the City Hall. I'm going to show you the trees. And what's really great about the trees, if you live locally, um, you can bid on the tree, and if you like the tree, you say like you bid 100, and you were the highest bidder. The tree, you get to keep the tree and all the ornaments. You have to go down and pick them up a couple of days before Christmas, and then the money goes to the Mayor's Fuel Assistance Program. So it's a win-win situation for you and for the city. And Donna and I won a couple of trees a few years ago, and I would have still had the tree, but we ended up upgrading our tree last year, and then the tree both trees got destroyed in the flood. So it is what it is. So this year we're only putting up a couple of small trees. So I'm hoping that I think this weekend she wants to set up the trees later on today when we're done with the fairs, and yeah. So I always wanted to talk about something too. So that $500 that I received this past week, I'm going to pay part of it forward. So, Anne Marie, if you're listening to this video in a replay, let me know if you want to meet up with me this week. Maybe thinking Tuesday or Wednesday. You might be busy cooking and getting stuff ready for Thanksgiving. I get it, but or even the following week. And I'll definitely pay some of it forward to some of your shopping. So when you're doing some shopping at Walgreens, you know, I'll be gladly to help you out with that. So just let me know if you're interested, and if not, that's fine. Because when I go to one of the police officers was telling me last night, instead of giving it to the Mayor's Fuel Assistance Program, when you're in line at Dunkin' Donuts and those places like that, why don't we just pay the way forward that way, and that way there, um, we can. I don't want to keep all of that. I don't think it was right. And, I didn't ask for that. I don't know why anybody would even do that. It was very touching that when he did that. And, well, yeah. Oh, wow. Hey, that's a lot. That's so kind. Yeah. So if you want to meet up with me, let me know. Just send me, you got my email and my contact. Just say, Ron, I'll give you the place that we can go meet. And, because I got to, and my wife's got to go to a town this coming month. They have in December. She's got to get cataract surgery on the 13th, and she's got to go back about a week and a half later for a follow up to have the other eye done. And then yesterday I called up the doctor yesterday on my status, and yeah, I wanted to make sure that you were getting my feed, because a lot of people hadn't been getting that, my settings or something like that. I don't understand what was going on with that. And also, so Donna and I get ready to go out for a fair shortly. I'm down 12 pounds for the week. I feel really good. Yeah, and I called up the doctor yesterday because I wanted to know if they had the surgery date. It was there all along. I didn't realize it because they had all my appointments made for my rehab. I'm going to be going down to Worcester on the 2nd of January for a pre-physical, and then if everything looks good to them, I'm going to have my hip out on the 16th, which will be on a Tuesday. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I told Betty Ann last night, I said, Betty, that I'm not going to be able to after the 16th of the second week of January, actually. This, so that second Friday falls on after the 16th, and I'm going to be out for at least 3 weeks. I'm taking at least three. I might even take a month off from bingo because I really need the break. And not only that, winter time we get snow, and she does cancel out when it snows out when it's too bad. Which when if you're a bingo worker, you really enjoy the night off. I got home last night, guys. I was walking up and down the floor last night like a chicken, letting my head cut off last night, and just doing verifications and talking and doing payouts, running back and forth in the back room. When all the cash was being brought in the back side of the back wall over there with all those charity tickets, I had to go get all that cash in the pull tabs, and I had to go bring those in the back and then bring the box back over to the ticket sellers. And I got home last night. On a scale from 1 to 10 on my hip area going all the way up to my back last night, I must have been about a 20. That's how bad it was last night. I took 3 aspirins last night. I took a little bit of NyQuil, and I took a couple of bit of ibuprofen last night. And I conked out, and I slept solid till about 6 this morning. And then this morning when I got up, I took 2 aspirins and I took 3 more ibuprofen. And so I'm feeling like I'm flying on the moon right now. So yeah. So I feel pretty good today. Right now I do anyways. I'm not draggy today. So be watching for those videos. So today we're going to make a flatbread pizza today. and I don't remember on the top of my head what the ingredients is today, but other than just almond flour and some cheeses and stuff like that, and that'll probably be coming to you around 1 or 2 o'clock, and then tomorrow, at least by maybe I'm thinking about 11 or noontime, we're gonna make two different versions of chicken drumsticks, one with chicken bake and one with keto, and then I'm gonna make cauliflower mash for me, and Donna will probably have a side dish, and I'll probably throw in another vegetable because I'm now that I'm down 11, 12 pounds. I want to continue with it, and I don't want to, like last night at Bingo, I had a hot dog and I had a slice of pizza, and I was kind of worried with the carbs that I gained the weight back, but the weight didn't come back. So when I had a lot of, yeah, so just last night alone, I walked 3 miles in 3 hours. So that's a lot of miles for 3 hours, and I did almost 6,000 steps last night. So yeah, I had a good day yesterday walking between that and the cemetery yesterday morning. But yeah, I like going to cemeteries. I like doing stuff like that, and so yeah, so I'm gonna kill the video, and then we're gonna go to the fairs, and hopefully I can win another raffle basket and see what happens. But I'm having a good week. What can I tell you? My weight's down. I got a camera last night. I got $500 cash this week. Maybe I should try my luck on a $50 scratch ticket. Maybe I might win another 500. Who knows? Maybe even a million. I mean, that would be kind of cool. Then I could buy my house and pay cash. So let's kill the video. I'm going to get my sweater on, my hoodie, and it's kind of like a light rain out this morning, and I'm going to get going. So you guys have an amazing day, and be watching for that video later today. Again, probably about maybe 1 or 2 o'clock, somewhere around that, between 1 and 3 o'clock. We're going to be doing a pizza today because that's what I feel like having for today. It's the pizza is very good. What's great about that pizza crust? It's a big enough pizza crust dough where you can split it in half. So like if two of you wanted, say like if one wanted a plain pizza and one wanted one with pepperonis and onions and that, or mushrooms and that sort of thing, you could utilize both of those. But we're gonna make one 10-inch pizza crust today. But anyways, you guys have an amazing day. And what I'll do, oh yeah, wait a minute, before you do that, um, what I'm going to do this time for something different, I'm going to get my tripod and I'm going to set it up on a high angle, and we're just going to leave it there. We're not going to be bouncy back and forth in the kitchen like I did before. I'm going to try that method and see if that method will work out better. Okay. But anyways, talk to you guys later. You guys have an amazing Saturday, and if you if you live in Massachusetts, in 10 minutes they got the Thanksgiving Day Parade on Channel 5. I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Thank you for coming in this morning with short notice.